I'll give you.
Oh, there you go.
I already probably. Plus, we will have a good meeting.
I'd like to add something to the agenda.
What is that?
A meeting slash orderly conduct.
Say that again.
Meeting and orderly conduct while doing the meeting. So keeping conduct while doing the meeting, orderly conduct.
And where are you?
Do that first thing right after the agenda.
So you want to add into that now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I make a motion, we, approve the agenda with adding, meeting slash orderly conduct.
I second.
There a discussion on the approval of. I have a few things. First of all, who are the council that called this? So this is for the record. Who are the council members that called this meeting?
All of us.
So, sorry, Fix, Councilor Fix. Were all of the council involved? The calling. The first email I got was on July 28th, saying, hello, council, the town council is scheduled a special call meeting with an executive session tomorrow at 6:30. Items to discuss in executive session are FOIA lawsuit, Mayor Brown investigations. As per your request, take notice of the agenda at time refusal due to a conflict of interest and also attaches the draft FOIA process for the town. Was there any other discussion with the council before this?
I'm sorry, what are you asking?
I'm asking who called it.
We already said that.
Okay, I've got that. And was I included in the process of deciding this meeting?
If I didn't take the email, I didn't look to see who all was involved, but we called the meeting, yes, that's 3 of us.
So, you guys asked for me to do, ask, so there's a follow-up.
It's a follow-up from, the council asking for the investigation. So we need to know, we need to have a special call meeting, which is what we're doing.
Investigation.
You didn't get the email?
Which, you know, you're talking about.
The one that you're reading?
I did get this.
Okay.
What investigation? We got a declaration of conflict.
We're not gonna discuss that in the, we need to go into, executive session.
I'm sorry, this is on.
That's right, and the only thing that we, but no,
Councilwoman Massey,
no, sir. No, sir.
Attorney Carter also sent some.
read the agenda?
Sure,
I did, but you're asking the question,
I am. So the declaration of conflict of interest.
so it's already been discussed, that's it. That's all we're gonna talk about until after we have our executive session.
And you are not reading the agenda. Executive session is after that item.
Okay, can you, if.
No, we haven't
What's
approved
next?
the agenda. We're in discussion right now.
I don't have anything else to say. Does
Okay.
anybody else have
Then,
anything to say?
then I do. I'm still discussing.
Okay,
So the declaration of conflict of interest and exclusion of liberation, what is that? It's on this agenda. Okay, council, I'm not thinking, not the clerk. What is this declaration of conflict and exclusion of deliberation? For me, because I haven't been,
they will.
guys call the meeting, please tell me what this is for and what is it about. We called the meeting.
Yes, we
Okay.
did.
So I've got Councilman Ricks, I've got Councilman Bennett, I've got Councilman Mastel, that call this meeting and put on the agenda a declaration of conflict of interest and exclusion from deliberation. Please explain to me what this is.
Obviously, there was a conflict of interest with completing a FOIA request, and we need to go into executive session to discuss. Is
Ma'am,
that enough?
This is not an executive session. This is on the regular agenda. This is why we discussed before we posted an
And
agenda.
I already said.
So please tell me, from one of the council that put this on here, what is the declaration of conflict of interest and exclusion of deliberation?
And just.
Ooh, so that being tardy.
Hey.
You're not part of council. The council is been addressed right now. We're trying to figure out on the agenda, but I would like to hear from council what this is.
And I've already. said it.
Sure, I'm not
I can help you with this a little bit.
I'd like to hear from council.
I don't care what you like to hear from. What I want to do is explain to you the legal.
I haven't asked you.
You asked, you're obviously, you don't understand what's going on, right?
Well, that's an interesting thing also. So why wouldn't I know what's going on before this meeting?
Because it appears that this is an issue that pertains to you.
Really? It still doesn't matter.
But that's the side issue. You indicated that you wanted to know what was going on.
So I've addressed the council.
Yes, sir.
You may be quiet right now until the council can tell me what this is, because they've obviously put it on there.
And I told. Already.
So what is the declaration? Because we're trying to approve an agenda that I haven't seen at all before the time that it was posted.
So you're telling council that you don't know what it is.
Exactly, I'm asking
Okay.
them to tell me.
Are
Not you.
Are you interested in knowing what it is?
I am from council.
Okay, but you don't get to decide who you want it from. I am the attorney for council. You've elected not to allow yourself to be a part of council. You've elected not to be a part of council as far as legal representation is concerned.
Sir.
Isn't that correct? Have
So,
you elected not to be a part of council?
when did I elect to do?
Well, on each occasion, you.
No, when did I elect? to
Yes,
do
sir.
that?
The last meeting we were in, you told me that I do not represent you.
You don't represent me.
That's
You
correct.
represent the council, which I
Right.
am a part.
And you've indicated that I don't represent your interests in council.
That,
And
I
I
never
do
said
represent.
that.
You did say that.
No,
You
I
said it
didn't.
on more than
Show
one
me,
occasion.
show me where I
Well,
said.
I mean, don't ask
Okay.
something ignorant like that when you say something in one place and then come back out and pretend you don't understand it.
So maybe
I
can-
represent
Sir.
council, and in representing council, I speak for them on their legal issues or legal concerns. Are you interested in knowing what this legal concern is? The fact that you want it from council members individually, you don't have veto authority. You don't make decisions that's binding on council outside of council.
When did I say that?
I'm not
So-
going to engage you.
Let me just, okay, that's fine. I got 2 emails or 2 letters from Carter Law Firm.
Mhm.
One of them, authority to proceed without the mayor due to a conflict of interest.
Mhm.
Dear Mayesville Town Council members, under South Carolina.
Mr. Mayor, as I understand it, the agenda has not been approved, so you don't get to go into it for the part that you want to go into. Once the
this,
agenda has been approved, you can address anything that's in it.
sir, does this deal with declaration of conflict of interest exclusion from deliberation, yes or no?
Okay, you don't get to ask it that way. First, you establish that you have an agenda.
Sir, I'm just asking, because
Okay,
we haven't approved the agenda,
Correct.
okay?
All right.
So the agenda is not approved yet, it's in discussion, and I'm asking,
Okay.
is this,
All right, I'm saying you're correct. You're correct. It's in discussion, but
so under South Carolina municipal law, South Carolina Code 57190, which is, and I have no idea why,
So why you reading that out if you know what
because
it's
we're
about?
in discussion.
But you already know what you asked for,
Because
that's why we're
the
not answering you, because you knew what it was about. You got a paper reading right there. So why are you sitting here making a big issue out of nothing when you know what's going on?
So.
Okay, so we're in the process of approving the agenda. You know what that is, because you got the paper ready in front of you. So why don't we just go ahead and approve the agenda? I mean, that's a part of the agenda, so why read it down when we got that on the agenda for you to go over?
Because we can strike that from the agenda.
No,
We
we
got to approve the agenda.
Why?
What you mean, why? You reading it right here? So
Absolutely.
why don't you wait till we get to that on the agenda? It's the next thing on the agenda. So we might as well approve the agenda, then you can read what you want to read.
It doesn't need to be on the agenda.
Yes, it
It
does.
does.
Oh,
We're in
that's
discussion.
why it's on the agenda.
So the public knows. South Carolina Code 57190 has to do with the election of pro tem.
Why?
And I have no idea, that's why I'm just questioning.
Okay, but like I say, it's a part, why are we going through this when it's a part of the agenda? That's the next thing on the agenda.
Because it-
Why not approve the agenda and then we can go over all of that? Right now, it's a waste of time sitting here from going over something that's already on the agenda, which is why I motion the agenda, she said. So,
It's in discussion. The discussion is not.
okay,
over.
that's a discussion on the agenda. So why go over it now when it's next on the agenda?
Because you discuss it before you approve an agenda.
That's a discussion that's on the agenda. So why would you go over it before we approve the agenda?
Because it doesn't need to be on the agenda.
So why you wanna read it out then if they ain't, you know?
Well, what?
You wanna tell
Can
them?
we vote, please?
No, we're still in discussion.
Okay, if you ask the question, you already know your answer to your question, next thing.
No, I'm still asking.
Ask the question, know what the question,
I don't
you gotta
know
answer
what it
the
is.
question. We might as well go ahead.
This makes no sense.
That's where, that's
We
where,
always
the
do that.
confusion, I mean, that's where it is, all the means at.
I'm gonna continue with the discussion.
And we're
And
gonna vote.
what's the discussion?
The discussion is why this is on here when these letters are not lawful. They do not state South Carolina code. And you're trying to get me to recuse myself in something that nobody has the right to recuse something. That's my responsibility, and the only reason would be for financial gain, or if I am hiring somebody from my family. Anything else, there is no recusal in state law. So what is this? You're asking a conflict of interest in what?
Yeah, you're talking to me now,
I
right?
am.
Oh, okay. I thought you was talking to council. Okay.
Proceed without mayor due to conflict of interest. Okay, I'm the only one on council that is signed a conflict of interest, as well as the maintenance person. Everybody else hasn't even signed a conflict of interest for this year.
All right, since you're talking to me now.
I am.
When and where there is an issue about a conflict of interest, the governing body must address it. Once they have addressed it, they will determine if they believe there to be a conflict of interest and vote conflict or no conflict.
Perfect. So
And so
conflict
when
would
you
be
say that
money.
you want to discuss it, then you can discuss what and say everything you want to say. But once you finish saying it, that's the discussion, unless somebody else want to address it. If no one else want to address it, then the discussion is over. And I think that's where you are now, unless you have more to add.
Oh, if we're gonna discuss this, that'd be great.
We
All in
are.
favor?
We are discussing it now, right?
Oh, you do wanna discuss it?
No, sir. I said, when you're finished discussing it, when you have nothing
Oh, I'm
else.
not finished, but it sounds like we're going to discuss this on the regular agenda for the public to hear. So that would be fine.
Okay.
All in favor of the agenda approval?
We already.
We have not taken a vote, Ms. Massica.
Take the vote, not ask for a motion, sir.
The motion has already been done. It's been seconded. We've discussed it. All in favor?
Aye.
Nay. Meeting orderly conduct.
On a reference, clerk, could you read that ordinance in reference to that?
Please.
Section 2-48, disruption of meetings unlawful. It shall be unlawful for any person to disrupt, interrupt, or interfere with the proceedings of council, a committee of council, a city board or commission, municipal court, or any other official body while it is in session. That's the end of the disruption of meeting part of the ordinance.
Well, I make a motion to move on the other orderly conduct and enforcing any individual, whether elected official, staff member, or member of the public, who causes a disruption or outburst during any duly convened town of Mayesville council meeting shall be subject to immediate removal from the meeting room by the deputy on duty of the sheriff or law enforcement agency upon the request of any sitting council member of the preceding office. Any person who engaged in repeated disruption after a formal warning or removal may be subject to a civil fine or temporary exclusion from future meetings in accordance with SC Code 6-1331 and local ordinance under SC Code 5-730. All removals shall be carried out in accordance with the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act and constitutionally guarantees of public access. Pacific SC Code 30-400 allowing enforcement of open meeting rule, SC Code 34-7, including individuals from open meeting when their presence substantially interferes with orderly legally of proceedings.
So,
I'll second it.
second discussion on it. So is this a change of the ordinance that we have in Mayesville present?
No, it's putting it on record to put it in motion because previously, last couple meetings are in general, it hasn't been being followed. So we're putting it on record that it needs to be followed.
So are you adding words to the ordinance?
No, I'm not. She read the ordinance. I was just motioning, telling you what needs to be done.
What you read is different than what she read.
She read the ordinance.
He did.
Yeah, and I gave the motion. I said I was gonna make a motion.
Are you adding to that ordinance?
Yes, and what she said.
Okay, if it's a new ordinance, then that is going to have to go before council and for the public.
It's not a new ordinance.
This ordinance already in place,
There is, we've got it.
but have we been following it? No,
Have you been following?
no, you haven't been following it.
Oh, it's me. Okay. So if it's adding to the ordinance or changing the ordinance.
We're
then
not
we'll
going
vote.
up. We putting it into action.
Make a motion. All right.
So this is an addition to the ordinance. Now we'll go through the proper process, change the ordinance. We already have an ordinance and the wording.
Mr. Mayor, may I help you out a little?
You don't need to help me out.
Obviously, I do.
I don't think so. I can help you out.
Yes, sir. Let me just add that the ordinance was read.
Right.
Somebody made a motion. In their motion, they're talking about the problems that they're having. Those problems that they're discussing is not an addition. It is an emphasis of why we should enforce the ordinance that exists. That's just like if each one of these persons has something to add, that's part of their discussion. What he read is part of his discussion about enforcing the ordinance that was read. So that's not an addition to the ordinance, that's an emphasis for enforcement of the ordinance. I think you gathered that also, but by asking if he's adding to it, I think you're delaying and interrupting the process.
Oh, I'm not at all. So who enforces that? Who is the official in this room who enforces that?
The council makes a motion for things to be done, and they either get you to do it, or they will direct the mayor pro tem to follow up if you fail to follow the ordinance of the town of Mayesville.
Sir, that's not correct. Who directs this meeting?
What, are you asking me who chairs the meeting?
Who does?
Who directs the meeting? It could be any one of council members. It would first start with you until you fail to do something. Then it goes to the mayor pro tem.
That is not correct.
Okay, well, I don't want to
Show
argue
me,
with
show
you.
me the law.
I don't want to argue with you. I just want to
Okay,
state
then
it.
just show me the
And,
law.
and
There's no
once it's
argument.
stated on the
Sir.
record, you can challenge it at any time you elect to do it.
There is no argument. Show me the law.
But see, what you're doing now is what they're talking about. What you're doing now is the reason that you're having these problems. Every little fight is not worth a fight. Every little issue is not worth a fight.
So this wants to be enacted, yet we still have council members right during the discussion telling that we need to go on. That is not their place. We've exemplified exactly what he read on council. So I'm going to stop here. This is something for the table, so all of us have a chance to go through it.
No,
Yes.
we need to put this into place. We're having severe problems, and that's not the
Ma'am,
one.
You're the one that's out of order. You are out of order.
Okay, let me know when I can talk.
You can raise your hand. Say.
It's fine, I'm not. Maybe you need to be.
So you can
Okay,
either say.
it is what I said, and that's what it's gonna be.
You can not.
So Councilwoman Maskell, you can say mayor, I speak on.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir,
Not
So you
I've
can-
already
you
said
can
what I
see
said.
that there's a problem already with the process.
It is. You created it.
No, I didn't create it. I'm the one that is correcting this meeting. So it's not gonna happen until we, no, I'm not looking at you, I'm just,
Oh, he said it is, so it is.
In the motion, I'll say.
All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
So Councilman Matthew, you go over the mayor pro tem to yourself to
If we're
ask
not
if they're,
moving along, yes,
okay, so there's a problem. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
and it's,
Mr. Mayor, may I state the rules of order?
You don't need to.
Well,
Stop. I
you-
just said you don't need to.
Well, your counsel
I
is
did
arguing
not
with you.
address you. I did
Your
not need
counsel
to.
is debating an issue with
They
And,
are.
and under the rules of order, if a motion has been made and properly second, you can call for a discussion on it. But once the discussion is over,
Who said the discussion was over, sir?
okay, I apologize. Then you
No,
have some
you didn't.
addition to add. I
So-
am apologizing if the discussion is not over. I am apologizing to you. Then you
So-
can continue the discussion if your other council members.
I have not seen this. I would like to read it beforehand and be able to go over all the different things that you
So you
are.
ain't know the motion? I mean, you ain't know the ordinance?
and he
You
should
never
be
saw the
glad.
ordinance?
Okay, there's a difference between the ordinance and what you just read.
Right. He read his
Stop. I
motion.
did not
But,
ask you
I
to
mean,
speak.
we don't never go over a motion.
I have not seen, okay, but I can ask for a motion to be in writing so I can see it.
In the future, but you can't interrupt a council meeting to say, put your motion in writing. He happened to have his in writing, but it is only a motion coupled with his discussion of his motion. You have a right to discuss his motion with all of council. But once he's made his motion and there's no more discussion, you do have to call the question and call for a vote. That's all I'm saying. But you can't veto them and not call for a vote.
I have not vetoed
I-
anybody.
Because you can't veto.
Stop.
I'm only saying, when you say you're not
Sir,
gonna do something.
Stop.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
All in favor? Okay.
Aye.
Nay. The motion passed. Declaration of conflict of interest and exclusion from deliberations.
Before you know, we're reading them?
South Carolina municipal law, South Carolina law, South Carolina code 757-190. May I address this to legal? Can you tell me so what that is? Can I address this to legal? Could you tell me what that code is? Because it's included in here. Then it says, and South Carolina Ethics Act, South Carolina 813-700B. A town council holds independent authority to act, deliberate, vote on municipal matters, including matters pertaining to legal, ethical, and moral concern. What does 57190, the election of a mayor pro tem, have to do with that?
Okay. Well, you're asking me about the mayor pro tem or legal and ethical violations. A mayor pro tem, which I'm sure you know, is the person who acts in the absence of the mayor.
So I asked one specific question. What does this code have to do with when a public official has a conflict of interest? The official is required to recuse. The remaining council members have the right and the duty to proceed absent any recused member. And a mayor, although typically the presiding, what do you mean, although typically? In the providing officer does not have a veto, override, or controlling authority. What does the election of mayor pro tem, South Carolina code, have to do with these, or even the ethics code?
If the mayor is removed, recused himself, not present, the mayor pro tem takes over.
Perfect, got that.
All right,
That's all I
now-
need.
Okay.
If a mayor attempts to participate despite being notified of a request of recuse himself. Notified, I'm the one that recuses myself. Nobody else recuses anybody on council, correct?
You're the one who gets to recuse yourself.
Thank you. For financial.
You're trying to tie me to what you want it to be
No,
tied to.
I'm tying it to South Carolina.
Does it say for financial? Yes, those are parts and pieces of whatever the issue may be. Yes, yes, sir. It can be for financial reasons, but it is not the only exclusive reason.
Okay, could you pull up the law while you're doing this, Jim? Because I've looked it all up, and there's nothing but those two reasons.
Okay.
So it says
Now,
recorded.
let me stop you for a second. Now,
Please let me finish this.
Well, no, you can't. I can't let you finish because you asked me to pull up the law. Now, when I pull up the law, I'm giving legal advice. I don't
You're not
advise.
giving me any legal advice. You've done
You're
it.
right.
You've
I'm
done
not.
it in here. Pull up the code.
You're right. I'm not.
Pull up the code. Okay. Record his or her presence, but do not his or her participation in the official minutes. Proceed with council business under quorum authority. Consult legal counsel, or if needed, request law enforcement assistance to maintain decorum.
Yes.
Well, that sounds kind of like a threat. This memorandum serves as a legal opinion for the council's authority to conduct its business lawfully and properly. This includes legal, ethical, and moral decisions regarding the approval of the CDC agreement. So, can you explain this?
Okay, you read it out loud, and I'll address the things that you read. Okay, so there are issues, and you are directing me to explain it openly to you and the public, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Go quickly.
well, let me. Okay, I'll address some of the issues for you right away. First of all, you took town property from one location and hid it at another location. You know that's not neither morally, ethically, or a proper thing to do. You
Okay, now stop for a
well,
second.
wait a minute. Now you
Sir,
asked me.
You asked
You're-
him a question.
I did, but you're adding things in there saying I hid something. I didn't hid anything.
Well, that's
Thank
your
you.
position. That's your position.
Oh, so you're judging and putting that in. Okay. You can just say, I moved the equipment. I did move the equipment.
All right.
Two.
Did you tell the council that you had files hidden in the fire department?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Did you tell council that you moved other?
Did I tell them I had it in a public place? Yes.
Okay. You asking me or you want me to
No,
stop?
I'm just clarifying.
Okay. Did you tell council that you were going to take locks off of doors and that where the town's property was located? Did you tell council you were doing that?
I'm an
No, you
administrator.
Ask me a question.
I
I'm
know.
just trying to help you.
Then you don't have to ask me a question.
Okay, all right.
I'm
Well,
the
all
administrator
right,
of
then
those
let me
things.
say it. You didn't tell council when you were moving locks off of doors, and you wouldn't address it with them when you were contacted about it. You didn't tell council when you moved town property and placed it on somebody's private property.
I put it on town property.
No, you did not at first.
Well, now you asked
That's
me.
all right. but
I'm
we have
sharing
things
with,
dropped
I'm
off.
sharing with you the question that you've asked. I'm sharing an answer with you. You can disagree with all of it. Your disagreement might ultimately be
Okay,
right.
so where does this conflict of interest come with regards to the CDC? Because that's specifically highlighted. I'm not understanding what this means in regards to the agreement with the CDC. We don't have an agreement.
May I speak now?
Please, be
Okay.
quick with it.
All right, you're asking me about how does the CDC tie into this
Correct.
discussion? Okay, now, we have a rental agreement with the CDC.
No,
You're
we do not.
doubting it, or you want me to finish? You don't have to agree with me.
But you are killing something that is not true. We do not have an agreement.
Okay,
Do we have a signed agreement?
okay. Are you asking me a different question, or are you asking me, do we have?
We do not have a signed agreement. We went through the
You don't like
procurement
nobody
process.
Okay.
They did not.
Can I
submit-
just state the thing that ain't true? Can I just state it? Okay, the thing that ain't true that you say ain't true. Let me just state it and you can disagree with it. We're in somebody's building. Okay? We're here from month to month if we do not have an executive executed written agreement. We still have a verbal agreement called month-to-month agreement. Okay? Now, do we have an agreement, which is your question? The answer is yes, but it is unsigned. And if you don't have a written signed agreement and you're in somebody's property, then it's month to month. If you have a written signed agreement and reach the end of your term, and you stay on month to month. We've had the discussion on this matter, both you and I and council, numerous occasions. It is an agreement. That's how that issue is tied into this issue. Your council voted for that agreement to be executed, written and signed. It's already written.
So
They
again,
voted, and you elected not to do it against their governing authority. You exercise a silent veto, which you do not have the authority.
okay, so let me stop you there.
Yes, sir.
Because we have an ordinance that says anything that is going to be over $5,000, which this is over $30,000, has to go through a procurement process. You're telling me that they can override an ordinance?
They cannot override.
Thank you, that's
No,
all I
no,
know.
you don't get to tell me when to stop talking.
I do.
They cannot override an existing ordinance,
Thank you.
but they can address an issue that pertains to an ordinance. They can address whether it's to be reviewed, changed, or however it is that they're going to do
We
it.
haven't done that.
Okay, but now, if the council elects to vote to have a rental agreement with somebody, whether it is a verbal month to month, or an actual, meaning action, month to month, or an executed one, the agreement still exists.
Against the.
No, it's not
our-
against anything.
It is against
Okay.
our ordinance.
Okay, now, and the other thing is, the $5,000 pertain to services being done for the town or goods being purchased by the town. Now, a rental agreement, I guess
It
you can
fits
try
right
to
in
tie
that.
it into service.
Absolutely.
I guess you can try to tie it into
No, I'm not
service.
trying.
Okay,
It is.
but you are already renting it. See, you can't say that this is something brand new that's being offered to the town. This is something the town is exercising.
Sir, there
Okay,
is
the
never.
town rented other buildings from individuals in this audience here.
What's that?
They had agreements or they utilized the services of other individuals in this audience. Is that true or not?
Explain, I don't know.
Okay, you don't know if there's anybody in this audience who have maintained or kept town property. Look out in the audience.
I
If you see anybody.
still don't understand what.
Does anybody in this audience kept town property? Has the town ever rented any space from anyone in this audience? Or, what's the word? Audience.
I don't know. I
You
don't think
don't
so.
know.
I don't.
You
think
know,
so.
we talk about being disingenuous, and
No,
you telling me,
I don't understand your question.
okay,
What are you getting at?
has anyone who is sitting in this audience ever exercised a landlord position over the town, either by town property or by town office space? Do you know of anyone in the audience? Can you look in the audience and see?
Absolutely. During this time that I've been in administration, no.
Well, I'm not asking you when you were in administration. I'm asking, do you know of anyone in this audience right now who has exercised authority, who has exercised a landlord position with this town, either for property or for office space or anything else? If you say no, I'll move along.
If you know of somebody, point it out. I would love to hear. I don't know. Not during the administration that I've been
Well, I didn't ask you about the time you were
there.
here.
Then I don't know.
Okay.
How would I know? What are you getting at? I don't know. Who points somebody out that we've rented something from? Who? Sir, you brought it up. Who? I'm asking now. Who? Okay,
Why don't you ask them?
we have never
Why
had
don't you ask them at the audience, has anybody ever done anything for the town?
done anything.
Right,
What does
rent,
that mean?
rent property, lease property, allow them to use property, allow them to use space. Why don't you ask it out in the audience?
Does anybody
See if you can get
lease?
any true answers.
Does anybody lease property to the town?
Or allow the property, allow the town to use any of their property as space or otherwise.
For a payment? Does anybody?
Well, I didn't say for, well, we can say for a payment or without a payment. Go ahead.
There's nobody raising their.
That don't mean there isn't.
Sir.
You've gotten boxes of files from them, so I know you. Mhm. Yes, sir. But I'm prepared to move along.
That's good. You are part of council.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So I have no idea what this is about. Then the next one is a letter serves as a formal notice. An objection to your hand. Request submitted to the town, which were not properly routed through the clerk treasurer's office as required by state law. There's no South Carolina state law that says that route any FOIA through the clerk or treasurer. There are counties, towns, cities that do their FOIA requests in so many different ways, and it doesn't always go to the clerk or treasurer. So I don't know what law you're pointing to. Look that up and give it to us, because you quoted all the other South Carolina laws that apply. It says, as you are aware, the clerk treasurer is the designated custodian of all town records pursuant to South Carolina Code 57/2022. There is nothing in 57/2022 that says anything about town records. Nothing at all. In fact, you're agreeing to that.
No, I'm listening to you.
Okay, then let me read it. Under the council, mayor, council form of government, or city manager, council manager form. Yes. Shall appoint an officer of the municipality who shall have the title of municipal clerk. Municipal clerk shall give notice of council meetings to its members, to the public, keep the minutes and its proceedings, and perform such other duties as assigned by the council. Where is any law that says that any of this has to be run through treasury?
How about the clerk?
And then you quote 3430, which has nothing to do with anything in this also. Any failure to route the FOIA request through her office not only violates these statutes, but also exposes the town to legal and financial liability. Sir, in court, you stated who is the administrative officer of the town of Mayesville. I'm asking you the question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In court, you said that there was somebody that is basically the CEO of the town of Mayesville. State who you said that was in the town of Mayesville.
I have no recollection of that,
Okay,
but I could address the general issue that you're talking about.
perfect. That would be great. Very quick.
Very good, and I'll do it quickly.
Okay.
You know, each time when you identify the treasurer
No,
or
sir, I just asked one question, not going to treasurer clerk. Who is the chief administrative officer in the town of Mayesville?
we don't have a chief administrator for the town of Mayesville.
Yes, we do.
We have a clerk treasurer that does the administrative duties. We have a mayor that is supposed to assist the clerk treasurer, or the clerk treasurer assists the mayor. But in terms of an administrator, the town of Mayesville does not have an administrator. If I am incorrect, please tell the audience who that person is.
Well, you have already put down all the codes. The chief administrative officer of any agency, subdivision, or public body is in charge of public records, creating, filing, and keeping the public records as the legal custodian of these records, and is responsible for carrying out the duties and responsibilities of this chapter, which are assigned to public agencies, bodies, offices, or subdivision. He may appoint a recorder's officer to act on his behalf. I'm the one that's responsible for the records.
Do you have keys to the records room?
Nope, I don't. That's an
Do you have
interesting thing
keys to
also.
do you have keys to either records room?
Nope, I
So
don't.
then you're not really responsible for them. Would that be fair to say?
Because I don't have a key, I'm not responsible.
Do you maintain them?
Like I said, I don't have a key. Please make sure that that is on the record. Please,
You
clerk, will you make sure that that is on record?
That you do not have a key to?
Correct,
Okay,
to the record.
I agree.
But you do have a key. There's records in the office as we speak, and you do have a key to that.
All records. All records. Will you put that please on the record?
But now the issue.
Clerk, will you put that on the record, yes or no?
Just say yes. It's not on the record that you got a key, because only on
I
the record
mean,
that
I don't
he's
have
saying
to
he
answer.
doesn't have one. You do have that, so.
So this is just defiance of the mayor.
I don't consider it defiance. You have a key. So it's gonna be,
Do I have
some-
a
it's
key
some.
to all records?
you
Yes
have
or
a,
no?
key- you have a key to some, and
Do-
it is going to be noted.
Do I have a key to all records, yes or no?
It will be
Do
noted.
you want it?
I'm asking you one simple question. Do I
Again,
have
which
keys?
one do you want me to answer?
One
Because I
question.
answered your one question.
No, you haven't. Do I have keys to all of the records?
The keys,
Do I have keys to all of the records, yes or no?
you have keys to some. That was your answer. You do have a key to some of the records.
The records that I
Some of,
secured.
but there's some. I answered your question.
No, you didn't. The question is all.
We're still gonna have this executive session.
Do I have keys to all the records?
You have keys to some of the records.
We'll have this executive session.
Make sure you put in the record.
It will
Mayor
be-
Brown
it will
says,
be-
I do not
it will
have
be noted.
keys to all the records.
It will be noted.
Okay,
Thank you.
also as legal
Can we
said
go?
that I don't have keys to all the records also.
No, that was you that said you didn't.
So. All of this letter is completely false and not law. Is what I'm saying. And so you're saying according to the town council members respectfully demanding to immediately turn over all FOIA related requests. I've already done that. Records and correspondence in your possession to the clerk treasurer, that you refrain from independently responding to, fulfilling, or obstructing any FOIA requests henceforth. Never obstructed, always held. That the future FOIA requests be forwarded to the clerk treasurer, which took us a year and a half to get to one, within 1 business day of the receipt, in compliance with municipal procedure and state law, which you have not quoted any correct state law here. Failure to comply may result in formal referral to South Carolina Ethics Commission and or legal action. Interesting letter. So what would you like to do with this declaration of conflict of interest and exclusion from deliberation?
What do you mean?
What would you like to do? Council put it on here. What is it that you would like to achieve?
You want me to make a motion? I would like to make a motion
No,
to
no, no.
reply.
I was talking,
Oh,
Councilman
I'm sorry.
Riggs.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I make a motion to require the mayor to recuse from the executive session.
And get out.
Due to known and reasonably perceived conflicts of
No.
interest
Keep going, I'm sorry.
arising from the mayor's involvement in existing allegations of coordination with external or quasi-governmental entities, potential, legal entanglements involving his employer, which is the town of Mayesville. I move that Mayor Christopher L. Brown be formally recused and excluded from attendance and participation in the executive session.
Okay, I'm sorry, that's against the law.
Second.
It doesn't matter when you vote on it or not, it's not gonna happen.
Well, I mean, okay.
This is not lawful.
The mayor is
Hey,
in
wait,
the
wait,
wrong
wait.
here.
What are you doing again? Councilwoman Massey?
No, I'm answering
just
something that someone
That's not
said.
your job.
Okay, well, okay. All right.
So this is not even legal, so
Yes,
we're not
it
going to
is.
even. Again, okay, Councilwoman Mayesville, that is your first warning, based on what was just read, you speak out again, you will be removed from the.
By who?
Okay,
And she
sir,
will not.
will you please,
By who?
You can't move them.
Councilman,
would you please, clerk, read the disruption of a meeting again, please?
Don't read anything. He's not governing
Okay,
the body.
A debate is
Sir.
different from a disruption.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
could you please read it out loud again?
Read what out loud?
Read it out loud, because it's different than this discussion anyway, so it don't matter.
Or
You
a
can read
debate.
it, you can read it 1,000 times, it wouldn't matter. Because we having a discussion, so it wouldn't matter. You can read it 1,000,000 times, it wouldn't matter.
Disruption of meetings unlawful. It shall be unlawful for any person
Stop.
to disrupt, interrupt,
Stop.
or interfere.
No, I mean, go ahead and continue reading it,
Ma'am,
Clerk Treasurer,
I
because
want
she
you to
asked you,
stop.
she directed you to read it, so go ahead and read it.
Sec-
Oh, stopping after you ask a question, I'm telling somebody to do something, I don't know where you think you is or where you think you at, but
Okay, so
go
here
ahead,
we are.
go ahead and finish reading.
Ma'am,
Sir, go ahead and finish reading.
you do not have, just as.
Clerk Treasurer, go
Okay.
ahead and read it. Clerk
So-
Treasurer. He directed you to read it, so you was reading what he
I was
told you to
telling
read.
you to stop at certain points, so be.
Ma'am, go ahead.
Disruption of meetings unlawful. It shall be unlawful for any person to disrupt,
Could you please stop
interrupt,
there for a
or
second so that we-
Keep
interfere
going.
with the proceedings of
So I can
council.
tell that Jasad Rick's information and motion that he made is not going to work with council because it says every person. Not just the public, every person that speaks out of turn.
well,
Councilwoman?
they speak out first, you didn't address that.
And then the thing about it, you said discussion, so we was in the middle of discussion when you stopping her from discussing. So we didn't take no vote on it, we was in the middle of discussion. This ain't the arguments ain't got nothing to do with the discussion that we was having. I don't think you be remembering what you be saying. Cause we been in the middle of discussion, the ordinance ain't got nothing to do with the discussion. So you been making the meetings longer than what they supposed to be used. So,
Mr. Mayor,
Stop, sir. I am going into executive session. It does not matter
okay,
what council
all this
says.
been for nothing.
It is law that the mayor can be in executive session. There is not anything you can say law-wise says that the mayor can be excluded.
I wasn't going to address
Great,
that.
perfect,
I wasn't
then we're
going to
good.
address that.
So if,
But what I wanted to address
Sir.
was, please, Mr. Mayor, I only want to address a legal concern, okay? When somebody from the audience get up and start talking or won't stop when you direct them.
Stop.
they
Who
may
has
not-
done that?
they-
who has done it?
You told her to stop talking to the person in the audience who was saying something.
Then she should
But
have
the point
stopped
I'm
and let
making,
me
let me
address
just differentiate them for you. The people in the audience, which would include myself,
it. Then
saying,
you may get there.
please, sir, let me just finish it. You don't have to agree with me.
You don't wanna hear
The
it.
people in the audience, which include myself at this table, you can direct us to be quiet, shut up. If we continue on, then you can do what you're going to do.
Perfect.
But your council members have debating authority, which is different from a disruption. That's the only point I wanted to make with you. So when you tell a council member to get up and go, you don't have that authority
I do.
unless they interrupt and would never stop talking continuously. But engaging in
Well,
further
so
debate
there
on
was
the
an
issue, engaging in further debate on the issue is different from one of us talking after you told us to shut up.
Absolutely agree with
Okay, all right. So then you realize that she was engaging in debate on the
you. No, she was addressing somebody in the audience, which is my job.
which was on the issue that we're talking about.
Doesn't
That
matter.
audience person didn't have a right to speak.
Then who
She
should
did.
take care of that?
Okay.
Sir, who should take care of that?
You should have
Thank
stopped them
you.
before they could say anything to a
Oh, I
council.
got to beat her to the punch.
You gotta beat the audience member from saying or finishing what they're saying. That audience member didn't say it one word, they made a statement, something that you heard, which is what your
How do
council
you know
addressed
I
you. Because you are here. But anyhow, there was a motion on the floor.
And I second it.
All in favor? Might need to read the motion again so that I can write it down.
The motion was to go into executive session.
No, it wasn't.
No, it
Oh
wasn't.
No,
my
it
God.
wasn't. It was to, Mayor Brown to recuse himself.
Oh.
and not follow the rules.
The motion was for you to recuse yourself and not go into executive session.
That's not gonna happen.
Well, you asked for the motion. You could tell us.
I didn't ask for the motion, sir.
You asked what
did.
the motion was.
I did, but I didn't ask for the motion to exclude me from. So is there a second?
I said,
Discussion law. Tell me
We
how
We
it's
need
like.
discussion already?
Yeah, Mayor Pro Tem Benjamin seconded. Yeah,
How is
Mayor Pro Tem Benjamin seconded the motion.
He was calling.
all in favor? Please make sure that every single person on this council by name voting. Councilwoman Massey-Joe. Yea or nay? You're voting now.
Won't say yay, what I mean.
Okay, Councilwoman Benjamin, yes. Councilman Ricks,
Yes.
Councilwoman Massey-Joe,
yes. If you couldn't hear me.
Councilman Brown. No. Is there a motion to move it?
That's not,
I'm at
that's not, what it was. It's not a motion to. He needs to, that was a motion for him to recuse himself, so. Waiting for him to recuse himself. Oh, he doesn't want to?
If the mayor refuses voluntary recusement or recuse himself voluntarily, I further move that the town council instruct, the deputy sheriff to enforce this recusal decision by denying Mayor Brown entry to the executive session meeting space and ensuring compliance with the council's vote and South Carolina law.
So
I make a motion.
So there was a vote to have you excluded from executive session. Okay, and can we hear clearly the position you're going to take? I know you said it's not gonna happen. Are you saying that if they go into executive session, that you're going to go into executive session?
Absolutely.
Okay,
What, may I ask you a question? What is the South Carolina law that supports this?
I'm going to advise them of that in the executive session. But if you should choose to recuse yourself, and they're believing that there is a conflict of interest, at this point, the mayor pro tem is supposed to take over and take a vote. And when you recuse yourself after they've taken a vote from a motion, from a chair position by the mayor pro tem, when you refuse, then they will ask the deputy to exclude you. Okay, you've indicated that they need to make the motion or go forward with the resolution to ask you to ask that you be recused. Okay, so at this time, if they're going to go forward, I'm suggesting, advising the mayor pro tem to call for a motion to go into executive session excluding the mayor. So if he says no, then y'all can direct the sheriff to act.
So I gotta make a motion.
No, call for a motion.
Okay. I would like to
Madam
call.
President, you do know that.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're advising her to take over for my spot to call for a motion.
Because they believe you have a conflict of interest and you can't preside if you have a conflict of
So
interest.
on record,
They may
make
vote
sure,
down. I'm
make
sorry.
sure that attorney is mentioned as taking power away from the mayor, giving it to the mayor pro tem while I am here present, thinking that I have a conflict of interest and forcing me to recuse myself. Thank you. Make sure that is on there.
No, the
It'll
attorney
be
is
on video
advising,
also.
the attorney is advising, it's not taking power. The attorney is advising the mayor pro tem that because there is an issue of you having a conflict of interest. The attorney is advising the mayor pro tem.
Financial or,
Okay.
which one is it? Which is the
You're not going to
conflict?
control my advice.
Which is it though?
You're
That's
not
the
going to
state
control
law.
my advice, and you don't get to make me tell you in open an issue or an answer to an issue for my clients, which is the council. While you make up part of the council, you don't get to tell me how to form my advice. And I'm advising the mayor pro tem. She can ignore my advice, but I'm advising her that if there is a conflict of interest by you, then she can elect not to, but she would be the next appropriate person to call for a motion to go into executive session and exclude you. If they vote negative, it's over with. If they vote positive to exclude you,
Sir, we don't need all
please
this
let me
dialogue.
finish.
No, we
Because
don't.
I'm
need all
not
this
talking
dialogue.
just to you. You want your audience to hear this also, so they'll know what's going on. If she calls for a motion to go into executive session and exclude you, and it's voted down, then this is over with. If she calls for a motion to go into executive session and is voted up to exclude you, once you decide that you're going to go in, the governing body will then vote on what they want the sheriff to do. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I'm giving her advice. I'm not giving her power, nor am I taking power.
Okay.
Okay, I'm, make a motion to enter executive session to suit the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act as quoted in South Carolina Code 30-4-78 for the following specific and legally authorized purposes: to receive legal advice from legal counsel concerning potential and pending litigation
Okay,
involving
let
the town, including claims or action connected with the conduct of Mayor Christopher Lanier Brown and or his employer as authorized under Code 30-4-78, and to discuss the legal allegations of official misconduct, abuse of office, and potential conducts of interest containing Mayor Brown, which may involve protected personal matters and investigation discussions as authorized under 30-4-70.
What was the other 30-4 dash? I got the 70. What was the one for that?
It's 30-4-78,
70.
2 and 1.
So you have to ask, is there a motion?
Is there a motion?
The going executive session.
Right.
I make a motion that we go into the executive session without the mayor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So you have to decide, come back into executive session,
Yes.
come back into regular session. The mayor can't participate in whatever y'all discuss, but he can vote because he had to choose. He will be able to vote. He doesn't have a participation in the discussion if y'all have discussion.
I make a motion that we return from the executive session back to the public session.
No, call for a motion.
Well, I call for a motion and return back to the public session.
I second,
Now you
So
got
we
to
got
make
to
a
make a
motion.
I'm sorry, make the motion to come back into public session from the executive session.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
As for the nays.
Any
You want to stay in executive session? So then you don't. Okay, but the body came out of it. I really just want to clear the record. So they voted to come out of the executive session. Do you? No, sir, I'm giving you the law because I don't think you voted the way you intended to. They voted to come out of executive session.
I said, no, it's over.
And you don't want them to come out of executive session.
They were already there.
All right, so your vote is counted.
Thank you.
And now you guys are taking action to decide
I make a motion that Mayor Chris L. Brown be immediately recused from all town council meetings, discussion, deliberation, votes, or official action related to the ongoing FOIA request submitted by or involving United States citizens of Mayesville. Any pending or potential litigations involving the town of Mayesville and or elected officials. All matters involving conflict of interest, personal actions, or ethical allegations related to his conduct. Issues involving the custody, removal, or interference with town records or FOIA processes.
Is there any discussion?
discussion?
Oh, wait a minute, is it the second?
No.
I second,
Their discussion.
Oh,
All in favor?
aye.
that's the-
Any
Okay.
Right. Benjamin, we can move on to the next issue, which of course, does not, uh, does not exclude the mayor. So he be allowed to take back over the new business.
By all means, keep going.
For your break. For- for-
I have a motion for the FOIA collaboration,
I move that the town of Mayesville authorize general counsel, clerk treasurer to collaborate with the Mayesville Community Development Corporation, CDC, on the FOIA request submitted by attorney Spencer Wetmore.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Madam Mayor Porter, the mayor asked that you go forward with the rest of the call.
Next on the agenda, the new business, FOIA, Town of Mayesville, FOIA processing, policy and procedures.
It is
Clerk, can you read the policy?
Sure. FOIA handling policy resolution. The purpose to reaffirm the lawful role of the clerk treasurer as the official custodian of public records for the town of Mayesville in accordance with SC Code subsection 3430 and subsection 57220, and to establish a standard process for handling all Freedom of Information Act requests. Policy statement. All FOIA requests submitted to the town of Mayesville must be immediately directed to the clerk treasurer, who is designated custodian of records for the municipality. No other town official, including the mayor or council members, is authorized to independently receive, process, respond to, withhold, or fulfill any FOIA request without coordination through the clerk treasurer's office. All records subject to FOIA, regardless of their storage location, must be made accessible to the clerk treasurer for timely compliance with the 15-day statutory response window. Any FOIA request received by another town official must be forwarded in full to the clerk treasurer within 1 business day of receipt. Any failure to follow this protocol may expose the town to legal liability and will be subject to internal investigation. The town of Mayesville bills only for its cost to fulfill each request. Invoices will be sent to you or the requested, and payment is required in full before the public records are released to you. A deposit not exceeding 25% of the anticipated costs may be required before searching for or copying records. The balance must be paid upon production of the records. The remaining balance is due before records are actually released to the requester. The public body typically has 30 calendar days to respond to a FOIA request, 35 days for records older than 2 years. If a deposit is required, the clock starts when the deposit is received. The copy fee schedule is for search, retrieval, redactation time. The rate is $20.19 per hour. Standard 8.5 by 11 black and white letter size copies are 30 cents per page. Standard copies 8.5 by 11 color letter size is 75 cents per page. Standard copies black and white legal size paper is 75 cents per copy. Standard copies color legal size is $1 per copy. Incident/accident reports are $2 per copy, and CD, DVD, thumb drives are $10 each. Effective May 19th, 2017, it is a crime to knowingly obtain or use personal information from a public body for commercial solicitation, as in SC Code subsection 3250. And that is the end of it. Yes.
There a motion for the, processing, policy and procedures for the town of Mayesville?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
That will call for Stephen.
Discussion?
What was the cost of a copy?
Answer.
someone.
That policy that you have there in front of you,
Has it in his folder.
it's in your folder. You have your folder.
So
Take off.
That policy.
we're gonna charge 75 cents for one copy. Have we looked at the law and for the lowest cost commercial, I guarantee not 75 cents.
What is it?
So-
You
so-
just-
No, just stick.
Is there any other, discussion?
Okay.
Okay, if there's no more discussion, all in favor? Okay.
Now put that in vote.
The committee report. Next is the
I mean, it's always there. So it'd be-
you have any report, Sandra? Okay. 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 Next is the public participation, 2 minutes.
I don't have.
Public participation, 8:30. Well, I make, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
What was this one?
Oh, he's in here. There.
Good. You can follow through, Chris,